Here's a story that I've been chomping at the bit to talk about. Michael Bloomberg will spend $80 million on the midterms. His goal is to flip the House for the Democrats. Yeah. So this is a good litmus test to determine who's a corporate Democrat and who's not. Because what you're going to see is all the corporate Democrats are going to come themselves and act like, oh, yes, we got big money. We have a better chance of winning. Yes, give me more of that billionaire cash. Yes. So they think in sheer, raw, partisan, tribalist ways. Blue team can win because they took money from this billionaire. Here's what non-corporate Democrats will say. Fuck off, Michael Bloomberg. Michael Bloomberg is the stop and frisk guy. That's what he is. So he's not a big fan of the Constitution, not a big fan of due process or, your human rights. Michael Bloomberg vetoed a bill to increase the minimum wage when he was mayor of New York City. So he's against an increase in the minimum wage. So let me get this straight. You're going to spend $80 million to get Democrats elected. Now, the official position of the Democratic Party at this point is raise the minimum wage. Is Michael Bloomberg going to give that money with no strings attached? Here's your answer. Fuck no. There are many strings attached to that, and it's implied. Hey, I'll give you the money, but understand, you're going to play cool, right? You're not going to be a Bernie Sanders-style Democrat, right? You're not going to be on the populist left, right? You're not going to fight for wacky things like Medicare for all and free college and other things that other developed countries have, right? You're going to be a nice corporate neoliberal centrist, right? That's what you're going to do. So there are strings attached to that. He's not somebody who's actually fighting for the people. He's just somebody who reflexively dislikes Trump. But guess what? There were articles about it back during the 2016 election. He reflexively dislikes Bernie too. So this is a way to keep the Democratic Party in the mold of Hillary Clinton. That's what this is. And I don't give a shit if that helps with winning, if at the end of the day, those Democrats are going to vote with the Republicans anyway. What's the point of voting for Democrats if they end up voting with the Republicans? You may as well have voted for a Republican and knew what you were getting in the fucking first place. So this is terrible. That's what this is. This is bad. And we shouldn't have to depend on the kindness of oligarchs for our political victories. That shouldn't factor into the fucking equation. But they write articles about this shit as if it's just standard, like, oh, look at what's happening here. As if there's no systemic problem with this. As if this is like totally normal and how it should be. And, they try to frame it as if like you're crazy if you think maybe we should get this big money out of the system. That's the implication. That's the taste this leaves in my mouth. That it like looks down at people who are anti-oligarchy and kleptocracy and plutocracy. They look at you like, well, what do you mean? This is the way it is. Like, obviously, you need to sell out to billionaires to win. And the right has their billionaires, Koch brothers and Sheldon Adelson and people like that. And, well, we have our billionaires. We have the Michael Bloombergs and we have the Tom Steyer, whatever the fuck. We have George Soros. How about no billionaires? How about that? How about we run elections based on policies and ideas, and we have clean elections so you get the private money out of the system so you have an actual fight between competing philosophies. That's the only thing that makes sense. But no, we're dependent on the fucking goodwill of billionaires, and then guess what? Those billionaires very rarely actually agree with the people. So there are strings attached to this. It's sad, it's disgusting, and when you read these stories, you go, oh, I see why people check out of politics. I see why they check out, because you become cynical and skeptical and you just get beaten down by the system and you're like, okay, I submit, I give up. This is the gross way it works. But you shouldn't get used to it. You shouldn't be okay with it. You should continue to be outraged by it because it's genuinely outrageous.